Oh wait, Doomsday Clock ended this. I can say one Doomsday Clock is probably the best comic, or my personal favorite comic that ended this year. Oh well.
Okay, check YouTube.
Okay, check it.
See if it's actually running, because I can't tell right now.
Oh yeah, we're live.
Okay.
Okay.
Again,
Welcome to Fighting Fiction.
let me advertise.
I am your host, Eric, and joining me today is Figure,
Yo, what's good?
and not Muhammad because he's taking a break today. We are all back from our 2-week break from the holidays and New Year's. Some of us were sick,
It's very sick.
very sick, right? And this is our first live episode. We're doing this live.
We're only doing this live. This is the old.
Well, we might do more live episodes depending on like the situation, right? So this is going to be like a 3-hour episode, 3-hour episode of our podcast.
No,
Probably not.
We'll probably
Probably not.
do like 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Oh darn, we already here. Like we're already at the 48-second mark. Crap, running out of time.
Alright, but what is the topic for this live broadcast? Or nothing.
Okay, so our topic's going to be for this episode our favorites of the decade, right? Because that's the thing. The last decade, because we're going to talk about upcoming plans, what we're planning on doing, because a new year, new change for us, and also we're going to talk about some things we're looking forward to from this decade, like be it manga, comics, anime, movies,
Only manga for me.
and this man's going to read some comics this year.
He's forcing it.
Gotta broaden your horizon. And books.
Broadening my horizon so much manga, but go ahead.
This man needs more punching things and like more Western philosophy instead of Eastern philosophy. It needs more of it. So we'll jump right into it, I guess. Right, we're gonna jump right into it by talking about what are our favorites in a decade. So Figure. Okay, so let's read this. We were talking earlier, right? Figure doesn't have anything that started in 2010 and ended in 2019.
Neither do you.
I do.
No,
I told you.
I do have stuff, but it's just not what I considered the grandiose thing of the decade. It's not the thing that drew me
Okay.
in.
Okay. Well, okay. What do you think? Okay, play this. What did you think was the grandiose of the decade that year?
Attack on Titan.
Okay.
Because it was the thing that brought me into anime and to where I am today as a anime artist. So.
Oh, okay.
I consider it one of the most grand things. I can also see. Here's a weird part. I can also consider SAO one of the grandiose things, but I don't like it anymore. Even though that's the thing that brought me into anime as well.
I didn't like it when it came out. when I was like, oh,
dude, I loved it because that was my only like. Okay, I'll tell you this. Sword Art Online.
trench.
What?
You were a trench jacket little kid. Even like, oh, no one understands me.
All black. Okay.
Okay.
But no. Okay.
My Chemical Romance too.
Yeah. Dude. Actually, they're back. They're back. You know.
Oh yeah, Gerard Way.
Together.
Yeah.
They already did a concert in LA. But okay. No. SAO. Okay. I was young. I was stupid. I had not watched anime in a very long or ever.
Time. Okay.
Not a long time. Well, I did watch it early on, but that's another story. Either way, I will consider this my first true interaction with anime. Okay, Netflix, going on there. Yo, what is this dumb cartoon? Yo, this is an amazing cartoon. It went from that to that. Okay, so it was like
Avatar
Attack on Titan. Okay, but that's not anime. Well, it is anime, but it's a cartoon. It's an American cartoon.
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. That's my show for the decade. Actually, no, it didn't come out in the 2010s.
Legend of Korra has a lot of good things.
But it's no less Airbender.
Yeah, but it's like it handles different themes, and like people don't like the different themes that Korra handles.
It's because it doesn't handle them well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll go back. I'll rewatch them again. Like I have like all of the. I have the 4K set.
Okay. I mean, why'd you spend money on that?
So I like it.
Okay.
I liked it as much as I like that last Airbender.
And why not
the blue people? Or like Last Airbender?
No, The Last Airbender.
I didn't see the 4K for Last Airbender. It's the aspect rate they didn't like. It's kind of hard.
That's right.
They
The show was
didn't have that.
made in 2010. That
Yeah,
doesn't make
so the
sense. Why is there no 4K? Okay, you know what? I guess well, budget. There's a budget. Oh well.
Mhm.
Either
The aspect ratio. But okay, so Attack on Titan and SAO are your thing, your grandiose thing. I mean, like okay, so I was a fan of anime in the 2000s, right? That's when I got in because my cousin came back from Japan, right? Because she was a teacher there for a little while. Brought back a little DVD or CD-ROM, right? Watched on our computer, and she brought me specifically Hikaru no Go, and I'm like, what is this bootleg Yu-Gi-Oh? Because that's what Hikaru no Go is like sort of bootleg Yu-Gi-Oh, and right, and along that line, I found an anime rental shop where I rented anime, and it's with like Ranma one half and stuff like that. So yeah, I was there for like Attack on Titan and SAO at my anime club at high school, and you know what? All the weebs there were talking about how that was the greatest thing they ever seen.
What, Attack on Titan?
And SAO.
Oh, and SAO.
Like,
Well,
yeah.
okay, but okay, were these new weebs or these the old
Yeah,
weebs?
these were new weebs.
Okay, that's
right?
why.
Yeah, because like I was there, and it's like this is because like me a 2000 weeb, right? The early 2000s is like Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho are the things that brought people in. You're like, oh yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho, or Dragon Ball Z. I'm up there screaming with like Goku and stuff, and like people having conversations about like Vegeta, like how he's a broken character, like he's really good and stuff like that, and like get into this, like you get the new weebs talking about like SAO. I was there, right? I saw this in person. I had the one guy he bought the Survey Corps cape and wore it to school.
Dude, okay. I wish I could do. I wish I had like I wish I could do that. I wish I wish I did that. But that's cool though. Okay.
Yeah, it's like that impact was like it's actually really big, which is kind of surprising when I think about it.
What you mean? What, Attack on Titan?
Yeah,
And
like,
what it did?
Yeah, what those two animes did.
you mean how it brought it into kind of the mainstream light, but didn't still?
Yeah, it's like okay, it's like how I say Dragon Ball Z, and it's like from that time period is like if you were like a Dragon Ball Z fan, you're kind of a child because you're watching two dudes punch the shit out of each other, and like explosions and screams.
But
right?
I remember watching Dragon Ball.
Yeah, you like everyone watched Dragon Ball, but like when you were a fan that brought you the anime, it's like you're kind of a kid. Like that's how like the world sees you. Like you're kind of a child, like a man child, because you're watching things that like two dudes punching each other and screaming. Well, like not that complicated of thematics or like Shakespearean dialogue. It's like
he hurt his friend. Okay, isn't that enough?
Yeah, that's about it, right? That's about it. Then you get like SAO on Attack on Titan, where it's like you actually turn these man children into like a collective of like worse than like Trekkies in a sense, like or the Star Wars fan base. You have people who's like it's kind of embarrassing. They're like I had this one friend of mine who like in the middle of class when the teacher called his name, he stood up and did like the salute, like the Survey Corps salute. The Survey Corps salute, and they gave it.
But that's fandoms, dude. That's just a fandom, man. That's just how it is.
Because it created more fandoms than what like Dragon Ball had. Because it's like you think about the two main characters versus like Goku, how Goku and like because most people were like the Toonami dub, which made Goku which like sort of Superman, versus like where SAO had like this emo kid and Eren this angry kid, how like these people now have different personalities to latch onto, and in a way they have more characters to latch onto because Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball in general doesn't have good tendencies with its characters because when Z started, Krillin got written out for like Piccolo, and then the same thing for Piccolo for Vegeta. And
when the power, you mean how when the power levels get so high and they hit their ceiling and they just we can't join you guys anymore. Like you can't go on the adventures anymore, and you have to settle for like a family life or something.
Yeah,
like how Krillin did.
Yeah, so he basically does that. Like that's basically what Dragon Ball Z did. Like unlike SAO, where it sort of happened with Kirito, but at least the other characters still had like some semblance of relevance. Or like Attack on Titan has characters, even though they're not all Titans, but they all seem useful. And that was the thing about it, is that Attack on Titan SAO could do more what Dragon Ball couldn't, because it did well with his characters rather than like, well, it gave them utility, so it created a like a fandom for people who's like, oh man, like Mikasa's so cool, or
She has
Eren.
abs. She's so cool.
Armin, man,
Armin.
yeah,
Squeal.
like, I'm an Armin fan, or like the bread chick.
Oh
or
yeah,
potatoes?
the potato
Yeah, like-
potato girl.
Yeah, see, like, yeah, people like them. Like, what do you got? Krillin? He's bald.
Dude, I love Krillin. He has no nose and he's bald. Dude, he's my favorite, man.
Yeah, like, yeah, but she brought that up, like, in this episode. But, like, yeah, like, Attack on Titan, you just have waifus. And, like, oh, yo, best girl is my best girl is like better than your best girl. Like, that's
But,
that's
okay,
that's,
but Attack on Titan. Okay, most anime has that a lot nowadays. But
Yeah,
but
but
Attack on Titan
now-
also has good writing. And also,
Mm,
but you say
not in the beginning. Not in the beginning.
yes, but that
Not-
was
not-
on purpose. That had to
Yeah,
be on purpose
see,
because
that was
imagine
on-
if you were dumped with all that madness in the very beginning. But because it was
Oh,
such a simple story and it was so
Well,
I went back and looked at the first few episodes in the first season, and I realized how
Yeah.
simple this show was in the very beginning, how basic it was, and how these characters are pretty bland, and how the story progresses pretty. It's like it's perfect for what it progresses into. Okay.
Well, see, here's the thing though about that. Like, so that's your personal pick for the decade. My personal pick for the decade would probably be like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7, right? Steel Ball Run
Mm-hmm.
for the decade. How? Let's play like this, right? If you like at that point, it's assuming you're a JoJo fan. That's why you're reading Part 7. So it treats it like its reader with a little more respect. It's like this is a simple like this idea is. You're gonna race across the United States, right? And then in the first, like around chapter 4, it introduces stands for the first time in JoJo Part 7. Like, stands existed, but like now we introduced our first stand battle, which takes around like 5 or 6 chapters in, and then the plot keeps unraveling slower. But it doesn't it doesn't throw me the big conflict. It just says, hey, race across America, and then we introduce our cast members, and then we introduce to our JoJo. And then we just watch him travel to that point as the plot keeps unraveling when the President of the United States decides he wants the corpse of Jesus Christ.
In the United States.
Yeah.
It makes no, it makes no sense.
The world of JoJo, Mormonism is the correct path,
Okay.
right? And that has I'll say that's the best. That was the best written manga for the decade. That started the decade, ended the decade. It did it really well, along with
Beastars?
didn't end.
Didn't it? Close. It's
Didn't.
close.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna say Mobile Suit Gundam Origins is another great manga of the decade. It's created by a guy. It's created by the illustrator for the anime series who worked on it for like 10 years. Or like he worked on it for every Mobile Suit Gundam anime.
Installment of Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah, he worked on it, like he was illustrator for all of them, and then he decided he's gonna do an anime, a manga based off the original anime, right? And he does it better than the original anime did, like storytelling, with like beautiful art and like it themes. It works really well on how it's like. At this point, it's like a fun fact for fighting fiction like listeners. Me and Figure tried to write a comic once where. I realized after reading Mobile Suit Gundam, I was doing that idea where it's like you have colonies separated from like the Earth, right? And so these Earth colonies decide, what's the point of us? We are self-sufficient on our own. We no longer need you, right? So thus it's basically a war of separation between the two, like Earth.
A war
There's
what?
A war of separation, like
That's not the right word.
Okay, Revolutionary War.
Independence.
Independence war for like these colonies, right? And so it's like, oh, Earth is going to war with these people, while there's colonies in the middle who want to stay with the stay with the Earth,
That sounds really familiar.
right? They want to stay there,
Okay.
but they're being caught up in this conflict,
Okay.
and so that starts. So a scientist who's like pro-Earth scientist decides he wants to create, he creates a Gundam used to help win the war, to keep these colonies from like leaving or separating themselves. So like it's that idea. It handles it really well with characters, and the art. It's one of the few times like where I say like, oh, I call Miura a master or Inoue a master, like manga through arts through twice, like sequential art. This guy, I have his name. I'll look up. I'll just put it later. He's a master of his craft as well.
That's because he's been on that project and he kind of just knows it by heart at this point.
Yeah, it's like they're like we'll probably do a review on it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah.
wait, are we wait, are we going to this part now?
We can. Unless you have anything else you wanna talk about.
From this decade. I want to
Yeah.
talk about. There's a movie I watched this decade, and I just cannot remember what it was, but it's,
Okay.
I know there
Actually,
was.
my favorite comic of the decade is Doomsday Clock.
Okay.
Okay.
The one that took forever to come out.
Yeah, it took forever to come out, but it started in 2017, and it ended this year.
Okay.
So
That's pretty
technically
short
3 years.
for
3 years.
what us manga readers have to go through. That's extremely short. Okay.
Oh, it's extremely short compared to like the Berserk and Vagabond readers.
It's like yeah.
What? Yours finished after 3 years?
It's like wow, that's fast. And they're like, well, what? Yeah, that's real fast.
30 years. We're 30 years in, and we're still waiting.
It's like I'm 7 decades in. I'm about to pass this down to my sons to carry it on
he's-
for me, and
He's still not gonna finish.
and
Still
he
not gonna finish.
and he's gonna have to carry it on to his sons. It's like it's a task. This is a mantle responsibility.
Someone in our line will finish this manga.
Like one of our kids will finish it.
But it's like okay, why I say this is the best manga for like best comic for me with this decade is because a lot of people will probably say it's Hawkeye by Matt Fraction. I think, yeah, Matt Fraction's Hawkeye run, where you can boil it down to where it's like Hawkeye and his daughter move into like apartment together in California.
Ooh,
And
how
it's this
dangerous.
yeah, it's dangerous, but like this idea of like Hawkeye is a person who thinks he's not deserving of love from his based off his like past actions, while his daughter is a person who wants to give love, right? And it's like this idea of like, who decides whether you loved or not? The person receiving or the person giving decides whether someone's.
You mean what he did in Infinity War, when we chopped up all those people?
Well,
I'm
no,
not Infinity War. Yeah, Infinity War.
Well, no, these movies aren't related to the comics, but I guess you could put it like that. It's like a really good, like a good jump into that movie and read Matt Fraction's like Hawkeye run, and like that'd be the thing. Like it'll probably work really well if you get that. But besides the point, it's like separated from each other, comics and stuff like that. A lot of people will say that's like the best comic of the decade. Personally, I'll say Doomsday Clock because it's a story of it's a Superman story. Superman's not in it for like most of the story though, and it's this idea of it's the basic idea of like hope, right? Because it's like no matter how shit the world is or like terrible it becomes, if you're not optimistic, then there's no climbing your way out of it. You're just stuck there perpetually. You're perpetually gonna be in shit if you're gonna keep seeing the world as like as such, and that's the thing about it. It's like a really good story. It's a really good comic. It's like my best comic, in my opinion.
I don't have a best comic because I didn't really read too many. But if I were to say a best comic,
Tom King's Batman,
yes,
which,
that's
which started this decade and
ended this decade. I just haven't come around to reading it, so I'm just gonna say before I even read it that it's the best comic that I've read this decade. So got him.
You got a movie or? I'll probably just go over like Whiplash and like Whiplash.
I kind of want to say Endgame. No, not. I said the wrong one. Infinity War. Infinity War is
I like Endgame.
Okay, yeah, I know you people like Endgame, but I don't understand that. But that's not the time nor the place for me to yell about Endgame. I'm here to praise Infinity War. Infinity War being a really good film. Okay.
The thing we're gonna do at Fighting Fiction is we're gonna all three of us is gonna read Infinity Gauntlet and then compare it to Infinity War.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. You're gonna read the 6-issue story.
Force me again.
Yeah, we're gonna force you. Okay, so what are we moving on to now, Fager?
Do we have any books we have read? this decade?
Nothing that came out this decade.
Okay.
Because surprising, right? Books is a totally different thing than like say comics or manga that come out because I don't think there's advertising for them. You just have to go into the bookstore, talk to the barista, the person who's like drinking their latte from like the bookstore, and like I was like, oh yeah, this came out this year. That's about it.
Okay. Well, if we don't have anything else to talk about for fiction of this decade, why not we talk about what we are planning to read, or what we look forward to reading, or what we're hoping to not read, maybe, if we want to go into that.
Okay.
Of this coming year, not decade. Yeah.
Okay, so Figure, we'll go with you. Figure, you are a Star Wars fan.
Yes.
Ish.
Yeah.
The Disney Star Wars broke that from you.
Yes.
I'm
I'm literally not. I have not seen Rise of Skywalker yet. I'm not interested in seeing Rise of Skywalker yet. There isn't any sort of excitement for me seeing Rise of Skywalker. I don't know what's happened to me, but I think it was Disney's fault. So I'm just gonna sit back and I'm gonna wait to get Disney Plus, and I'm just gonna watch Mandalorian, and I'm gonna watch the season 8 of Star Wars Clone Wars, and then that's my Star Wars for the this year, this coming year.
Oh wait, darn! I feel like I should have brought up like Mr. Robot, but okay.
Oh wait, too late. We gotta move on.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You know what? Actually, man, I'm actually excited for. How do I put this? Okay, so you gonna read? Are you gonna read some Star Wars comics?
I'm okay. Here, I might read a Star Wars comic. You gave me a list.
Yeah, it's like three.
I might read this Darth Vader comic that's coming out. It looks like it's coming out this year. It looks. I like this. Here, let me just show it to all 5 of y'all that are watching right now. Hold on. I can do this. I know how to do this. This is this cool looking Darth Vader comic. It looks pretty cool, man. I'm gonna say, Marvel. I hope you can make a comic. I've heard a lot of things about a lot of Star Wars comics not being done very well, and Marvel's kind of dropping the ball on the comics at least. But I haven't read any Star Wars Marvel comics. That's so weird to say. Star Wars Marvel comics. Okay, I haven't read so many yet, so I'm just gonna come into Darth Vader, Star Wars Darth Vader with an open mind. I'm gonna read it. Also, for other Star Wars content of this year, like I mentioned before, I'm gonna watch the Clone Wars TV show. This final season's coming out. I know it's gonna be great, and so I'm just gonna say I enjoyed it before I even seen it. And also there was rumors of a second season, or not second season, a continuation of Star Wars Rebels, that might be coming out.
No. Oh no.
So I'm ready for more. I'm ready for more time travel. So I'm ready for more weird Cthulhu creature beasts swollen away. See, they ruined my boy Thrawn. And I'm like, man.
Well, there's also an Empire, Star Wars Empire comic that's coming out, and like Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back comic.
Yeah, a new one.
Why?
It takes place with the second movie.
The second movie, Attack of the Clones.
I don't. The original trilogy, second movie.
The fifth one.
Yeah, movie 5.
The Empire Strikes Back. Okay. All right. Can I get some more Old Republic content, please? No.
I know how, like,
okay.
Old Republic is canon. So.
Yeah, it's canon. No, okay. We need to have a discussion about something about what you said about the Mandalorian. Okay.
Being agreed.
Being a way of life and not a race of people.
Yeah, they said that in the Mandalorian. They said the Mandalorian.
But okay, canon's starting to contradict canon.
Okay, no, because so apparently the Mandalorian are all wiped out. Like the race are fucking dead.
How?
By the Empire, I guess. So
they used them in the show. How are they wiped out? They're still around.
Like in the Mandalorian show?
Or in Rebels. In Rebels.
We don't. I don't think people count. I don't think
we go past Return of the Jedi. Sabine's still alive. Sabine still's a Mandalorian.
So see, that's the thing though, because like, Mandalorian takes place 50 years after the fall of the Empire. So.
Okay.
So along that line, Vader's like, I'm wiping out these Mandalorians. So.
How did no. This doesn't make sense. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna argue it. I already know it contradicts. I already know it contradicts. I'm just gonna accept that it contradicts. Okay, I'm done.
Well, okay, because like, okay, I'm gonna just say it, like, so there's the scene in the last episode where fuck, I forgot her name. She says Mandalorian is not a race, it's a creed, and he's like, yeah, I was a yeah. He's like the Mandalorian just
He's like-
agrees with it.
He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Because he's like, how have you never been to Mandalore? He's like, I'm not Mandalorian. It's just a creed.
Mandalore. Okay. Man, Disney, what have you done? Okay.
I mean, I think it's better. Okay, I'm gonna going off a tangent here.
Okay.
I don't like in the Star Wars.
You don't like
because
what?
It's the pre-Disney canon of Star Wars because it's a convoluted mess.
A lot of it's a little goofy. A lot of
it's everywhere.
A lot of it's goofy.
You know there was there was a chart on canonicity on how like every book that came out was had to be put to this chart on how canon it could possibly be.
Yeah, it's
Because
like
it
was a take it or leave it system. Okay.
yeah, like Lucas literally is like, I don't read them, so whatever. As long as you like, Luke doesn't have kids, that's fine.
But he does.
Like, no,
Jade.
yeah, but that's why it's not that one specifically is not canon because Lucas never wanted Luke to have children.
Well, it's too confusing.
Yeah, that's why I'd rather have like the Disney canon. It's like they actually pay people to say what is canon and what is not, and what contradicts canon.
But things
So,
are starting to already contradict themselves again, and it's starting to get.
I think it's like Rebels. No one likes Rebels.
Okay, no. This also, but you just said the Old Republic's canon. Oh lord.
Yeah, like the Old Republic's canon because they even bring up Mandalore and like the first war with the Jedi, like in the Mandalorian, they bring that
That
up.
means Darth Revan is true.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay, we gotta get off this. I gotta get off this. I'm gonna start losing my mind here in a second. What's next? What's next?
Okay, what I'm excited for. I'm gonna say anime. I'm excited for the Hanako anime.
What is that?
Jiboku Hanako, right? It's basically you know like when you watch like anime in general, it's basically I don't understand. There's always like the school is like, oh, this school has like 12 mysteries surrounding this campus, like our school grounds where we got like this one person. Like if you go to this tree at midnight with someone you love, you guys will be together forever because, or like, hey, this bathroom is haunted. Don't just never go to the fourth stall in like a third floor bathroom, right? That's the thing. Well, Jiboku Hanako is anime based off a manga coming out where it's like this on the second floor, the far east corner of the school. There's this one bathroom stall that's haunted, and if you go to say you say Hanako's name 3 times, the spirit will appear and grant you one wish for something in exchange. And that's how the story starts off. And I'm like, I read the manga, pretty good, right? Think the anime is going to do it a little better with this color palette from the trailer.
Okay.
And, I'm excited for it.
Okay.
Also, I'm looking forward to Mandalorian season 2.
Okay.
So
Is it happening?
Yeah.
Okay, it's confirmed,
comes out-
right?
Yeah, it's confirmed for the fall.
Okay, that's good.
So I'm excited to see the return of Lone Wolf the Cub, the American edition.
You know what other anime got confirmed for season 2?
Konosuba,
Mm,
3-0.
mm,
Yeah, that got confirmed for season 2.
but that's not what I'm thinking of.
Berserk 2020.
Beastars confirmed for season 2.
Beastar. Okay, yeah. Beastar looks really good.
It was so good. Did you watch the anime?
No, I've not watched the anime yet because I'm gonna watch on Netflix when it comes out.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure it's out now.
I will.
It should
I'll
be
get
out
to
now.
it.
Either way, that got confirmed for season 2. I don't know if it's gonna be this year, so I'm not sure yet. So, either way, if it is confirmed for this year, I'm excited for it because it ended off on spoilers. It ended off after
Polar bear fight.
No,
The
no, it's dude. No, it's hyping that up, dude. It's hyping it up hard. It ended with Luis. Oh my goodness.
joining the Lions.
You spoil. I already said spoilers. Okay, not with him joining him. He killed the boss, and he's like, "Go ahead, eat me." And he's laughing crazy. It ended. Last episode was with that,
Oh, okay, yeah.
And-
That's a big start.
and then with Haru and Legosi, back when Juno was about to say, "Hey, let's light this candle together." And he's all like, "Nah, I'm go run from this bunny." And he goes runs up to her, and he basically says, "I love you." Basically, at that moment when they were out looking at the city, and it's like it was a really really touching moment, but it ended in such a good note with it brought back up the Tim's death again, and it showed like a POV version of the polar bear, or the bear, acting all weird and crazy. But it's like he's talking to Lugosi, but it's hype. It's just hype what it's about to be, dude. But here is my biggest problem though, the action in the anime is not that good. The fights are a little clunky, so
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
I'm worried.
3D is not there yet.
It's not there yet for the fighting. It's not there yet for the action. So I'm a little worried about what we're gonna see. Okay, but
Okay.
at least in terms of facial expressions and stuff like that, and little nuances and the motion, they did really good at that. Either way, now we're doing a review for season 1. Okay, I'm hyped for season 2 of Beastars. That's my season 2 that I'm hyped for.
That's your thing. What manga do you think are you excited for? It's coming out 2020. There's no way of ever knowing what manga comes
We
out.
don't know. We don't know. We don't really know because we're not Japanese. So I'm
I
just
don't
gonna.
think Japanese ever knows what manga comes out 2020.
So okay, wait. What about we talk about what will end this year? Okay.
Okay, what do you think was gonna end this year?
Attack on Titan.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed that this is the
Alright.
final year of Attack on Titan, and I'm excited and disappointed.
Vinland Saga is
Ooh.
guaranteed.
Ooh. Okay. Wait, it has been guaranteed in this year.
He can't pump out another year of Vinland Saga.
He might.
It's impossible.
He might.
What? We're gonna spend time in America?
Yes. He has to.
Okay.
He has to talk to like Native Americans. You got to translate,
okay,
and then they're gonna.
There's there was like some time in between before they got they were like okay with each other to like, oh, we're fighting these guys out of here.
We got to get to the part where where Thorfinn's like, there's no escape from war. There's always war. There's no peace here. There's always conflict where their human beings are, and that's gonna be the theme. It's like where people's hearts are involved, there lies hatred.
I think it's gonna come to an understanding. Like, see, that's the thing though. It's like I feel like I can't remember the manga I read. There's like understanding leads to like true peace, where this character forget the name of it, but he's like he realized that there's always gonna be conflict when there's no understanding of each other. Because like once you understand each other, you have a ground for like resolution.
Nah,
Unless
dude.
Okay,
It don't work like that.
that doesn't work like that. Okay.
No.
Okay, so a comic I'm excited for that's coming out this year would probably be, I'm gonna say, I am excited for the new Batman run that just started.
Ooh, by who?
James Tynion the Fourth.
Who is that? I've never heard of him before.
Okay, so he's a guy who's writing Detective Comics alongside Batman writer Tom Kane. They're
Okay.
writing with each other, and I will say I am lukewarm on. I was lukewarm on his Detective Comics, but he had out of like his 6 arcs that he wrote, 3 of them I was like up there ready to scream with him, like screaming like Goku, like I was screaming like a Dragon Ball Z fan when I saw Goku Kamehameha, like Beyblade help hit like a Ki Blast during Dragon Ball Super. Right, I was that hype. I was like, oh yeah,
What are you talking about? I thought we were talking about Batman.
Yeah, I'm talking about Batman. Okay, someone said this. James Tynion's Detective Comics had hit and miss arcs, right? And the arcs that hit with me were I found fucking hype as shit. Like all hype. Like I was screaming because like how good it was, and like the lows were real low. Like I could just stop reading right there and I would have been fine. So I'm excited to see what he does with his Batman run. But I have like I want to say I expected to have like the same highs and lows as the Detective Comics, and I think.
Okay.
So
So it's not gonna be perfect. Okay, what were you saying?
you got a comic you besides like Star Wars you like go and try to read or no?
Nope. I don't got
Okay,
no
really?
comic on the list. I have to find a comic on the list. This list that we're talking about is gonna grow this year. I mean, it's like where we
It's gonna go.
6
It's gonna go.
days. We're it was January 5th right now. It's like we got some time. 4th. Look at that. We got a lot of time to figure this out. Okay.
Right. Okay. So let's say any other animes for you then.
Dude, I didn't write it down. There's something else that's coming out. What? Attack on Titan anime is coming out this year, but it's like, I've talked about Attack on Titan so much. It's the continue. Yeah. Okay. Dude, there was something else that's coming out.
Okay. What about shows like cartoons or shows? I know you watch cartoons.
It's been a while since I watched cartoons. It's like I haven't come around. Oh yeah, I'm ready for more Hazbin Hotel. That's what we.
Oh.
It's like, is that coming out this year? Are we gonna get more of that?
Depending on the situation.
It's
Yeah.
like, can Mick have a larger role this time, please?
Maybe.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
What about games? I know
No.
you're like okay.
Yeah. See, look, Did you see how he ignored me right there?
No. Yes.
Yes.
No. Like.
Okay,
I don't
games.
Remember, I don't remember the character's name. Like has been Hotel.
Mick. Oh, you don't know his? No, that's not. He's the voice actor. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
It's the real man. The real
Oh,
man
okay.
behind
Never
the
mind.
voice.
I don't know. I was thinking like, are you confusing the radio demon?
No. I don't know. I don't know what his voice actor is. I just know Mick and Stamper. And Stamper was a snake dude, and Mick was he's the guy.
Prostitute.
No, he's the guy who was drinking and he was like drunken and he got he was playing poker.
Oh, okay. The door greeter.
Yeah, that guy. But those are huge voice actors within like YouTube. They're like legendary. But games coming out this year. Is Final Fantasy Remake finally coming out? 7 Remake?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 is coming out. Probably come out next month.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting to see. I probably won't play it, but I'll watch somebody else
Oh.
play.
He's gonna watch my Let's Play of it on Fire Fiction.
I'm gonna watch a Let's Play. Because
I'm gonna share play this with him.
it's like I don't have time to. You know what? There was one game. It didn't come. It came out last decade, but it's a game I need to come around and play. It's kind of like Journey. You ever played Journey?
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of like Journey. You ever heard of Gris?
No.
GRIS. Okay, it's like a 2D platformer type thing, but it has incredible music, and it's like watercolor type art going on.
I thought you were literally talking about the fish one, where like you just swimming with
Fish?
fishes.
No.
Yeah. No, it was made by the same people who made Journey.
What, Gris?
No.
I don't know what you're talking about. Either way, I have a really artsy game I'm wanting to play, and I need to make time for it. So, that's the only real game that I have. Do we have anything else? Game. Is there something big coming out that I just haven't realized yet, and I'm gonna like freak out?
Cyberpunk 2077.
There we go. That's one, but I don't have time to play that either. But I mean,
Last of Us 2. Master Chief.
Ooh boy, Halo Infinite. Wait a minute, Halo Infinite and Halo coming out on PC. All of it coming out on PC is one of the greatest things that's happening right now. I haven't bought Reach yet. When I upgrade this computer that I'm speaking to you all on right now through the internet, I'm gonna be getting Reach because oh my goodness, dude.
He's just gonna get the Xbox Game Pass and just do that.
No, I'm gonna play on PC. What do you mean Xbox Game Pass?
Yeah, just no, like Xbox Game Pass just works on PC.
Nah, dude, Steam. Keep it all within the
Okay.
family. I keep all my games within Steam, dude. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. If I can buy Master Chief Collection and Reach on Steam, I'm gonna keep it on Steam. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, like, but Halo 5 will be on like PC for only Xbox Game Pass.
Why would I want to play Halo 5?
I thought you from the trailer you were really excited for it. You're like,
Halo
like
Infinite. Halo
Whatever
Infinite
that
is number 6. Halo 5 is with Locke.
you're,
You be bringing it up,
not,
and then you
not,
don't.
Not Idris. Not Idris Elba.
No, not him.
Okay. Any movies you're excited for?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I know. Us, the Fighting Fiction cast, are excited for the Bloodshot movie.
Oh boy. Oh, I have to watch that.
We're all watching it.
I have to leave my house.
You know, I'm gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it.
Can you watch it? Can you watch it twice for me? Once for me?
Want me just like get the like tape recorder, like record it while I watch the movie?
Can you live stream it? Can you just live stream it? I just watch the live stream.
Just live stream my face with like the glasses reflecting the movie.
Exactly. Oh my goodness! Just have a mirror. Just have a mirror reflecting the movie.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the Bloodshot movie, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Because we reviewed the Valiant Verse comics. We gotta do the Valiant Verse movies.
Okay, is there any good sci-fi coming out this upcoming year?
No.
That's gonna be okay.
Bloodshot?
No, I mean, is there any good sci-fi coming out this year? That's gonna be like absolute slammer.
Bloodshot?
Okay, okay. I'm gonna say okay.
I mean,
we don't have
probably
movies.
Probably not films. No, not films.
Okay, we don't have.
Unless you like, you got
You got a
you want
friend
to
in
go
there?
to comics. Unless you got comics, and you probably got them all in comics, but like not in film
Okay.
or books.
Like Saga?
Yeah. So
Oh man, good old Saga.
I feel like okay. You got any predictions? You want to like say it's gonna be like happen? Like you're gonna predict something like you can predict something outlandish, like like say a manga is gonna get an anime or something like that.
I think Oh, dude, here we go. Where's my list?
Okay.
I know what's gonna get it. No, okay, I know this is gonna happen because I've seen this. I've done this before. I said that's gonna get anime, and then it gets an anime. Okay. Come on. No, that's never gonna get an anime. Okay, please don't bully me. Nagatoro is gonna have to get an anime at some point. It just needs more content. That's my call for 2019. That.
You got a picture of Nagatoro?
Yeah. Let me pull one up. Okay, so this is the manga. This is a manga. This is okay. Now I have two. Okay.
Don't toy with me, Miss Nagatoro.
Please don't.
Is that toy with me, Miss Nagatoro?
Please don't bully me, Nagatoro. Oh lord. Okay, here's the only problem with Nagatoro. There's just not a lot of content that's out for you. Okay, so this is yeah, I was gonna use that same exact image. Okay, this is the good old. This is like okay, imagine you were bullied in high school, which would be the majority of us anime watchers, okay? But then some girl liked you, okay, and then that's about it.
And she bullies you. She bullies you too.
Yeah, and then she bullies
Oh,
me
okay.
too. But she likes me. She bullies me because she likes me, and then that's like
Yo, I'm about to buy these Vans.
and not because you're a loser. Okay, that's that.
I'm about to buy these Vans.
Okay, we also have a. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's show this. This is stupid. This is dumb.
Like apparently this is popular. Yeah, this is my getting anime because like there's Nagatoro trunks, like underwear. I'm about
Okay.
to buy me some Nagatoro boxers.
I'm not gonna show that, but okay.
I'm about to buy me this Nagatoro hoodie.
Okay. I also have another manga that I think is gonna get an anime, but this is the same case of not enough content yet. Yanchigao
Okay.
no Anjo-san, which is also another loser being bullied. And hey, I think someone's gonna see a trend here about the type of manga that I've been reading for a while. But basically, it's a loser who's getting bullied by a girl, but the girl actually likes him. But this art is like phenomenal. And
Okay.
Yanchigao. I've showed you Yanchigao before.
Yeah. Let's say
This is the one where it's like it got really real. One chapter early on, it got really real, and it's like it was like, oh, this is amazing. Plus, the art in this manga is amazing. So I can definitely see this getting an anime before Nagatoro, honestly. But it just needs content.
Okay. Do you have any prediction like something that's going on a hiatus or anything? Or just end, just straight up end, like out of nowhere.
I think To Your Eternity might end up getting might end, not highest. I think it might end here soon. I think To Your Eternity might, because we are 122 chapters in, and we're kind of done here.
just nothing else for us to do.
we're kind of running out of stuff. Like he needs to just become like a deity and just take over everything. But okay. I think I have another one that might be going on a hiatus. You think Beastars might go on a hiatus before it ends?
No, because Baki's never gonna hiatus.
Baki's okay. Never mind then. Okay.
I like how you say that, but it's like, yeah, his daughter is probably never gonna go on hiatus either.
it's like the standard has been set, and in Japan, it's like if you go a step below, that's dishonorable. You get disowned from the family. So you can't go a step below like the family. Keep it in the family.
It's like she's already a step above her dad, like with the writing.
It's like so she has to keep hold. It's like you hold the families. You're at the highest. You hold the high spot in the family. You can't step down at all. You just gotta keep going up. It's like you got anime.
Until you have a kid, and then they have to like step above like you.
And they have to make their own Beastars. It's like they have to make their own content next. It's like, man.
It's a cycle. It's a cycle of manga creators.
It's like it doesn't end.
Okay.
You have predictions?
Okay. I'm gonna say this right. Saga will get an adaptation of something this year, or announced, despite the creators, because when Saga created, the creators said they want to create a comic that can only be a comic.
Okay. I mean,
okay.
They failed.
It's only been a comic for like 10 years, so.
But I can see it being other things besides.
I can see it could be an animated show on Sci-Fi or something.
It can be
like a Netflix animated show.
It could be
I don't
movie.
think it'll work. I don't think it'll work as a live action movie.
You just gotta chop it up. It don't look like chop it up.
I don't know. I think it would cost a little too much. Like let's say this: if Star Wars is the standard, right? Like how Star Wars looks, all the special effects and stuff. Think about like say Saga, because Saga has like people and like the makeup department would cost probably much more than like Star Wars would.
Okay.
And like despite what like say the Disney Star Wars and like even a prequel trilogy, like the original trilogy and like say the Disney trilogy, like the makeup department doesn't do that much work with like the aliens because they're not in scenes long enough to like be a big enough budget or pain. But like Saga, like the aliens in there, like all the like species that are they're in there long enough to say this is gonna cost more than like this is gonna cost money for us to keep this actors in this like costumes. So it'll probably work as animation. They'll probably do like a Netflix like, hey, we're doing an animation, like we're gonna bring Saga to like life with Netflix show.
So more money.
Good.
So more Netflix spending more money.
Yeah, they're gonna spend more money because they're like, we need to bring people in here, but we need something weird enough that like create a fan base. Like, it's like at this point, right? It's not about I think they stopped throwing stuff at the wall and realized that you need to start making fan bases rather than like just making shows. Like in my opinion, just like because you could make money off a fan base because they'll buy stuff for their fans.
Anything.
They'll buy, yeah. So like all they have to do is like they bought like they got Umbrella Academy, right? But see the problem with the Umbrella Academy, it's not big enough, it's not weird enough to make a fan base. Was like I'm pretty sure they'll get Saga, make an animated like show of it, then they'll start making like Saga toys and like Saga shirts and like they will make the money back plus some because it's weird enough and it has like the universe for it to like just latch people up on it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Saga already has like a relatively strong fan base, so
yeah, like but that's like comics, but bigger. If it could be bigger, then somebody's like, yeah, let's do it.
Somebody, okay.
Yeah, somebody. I have a feeling Miura's new manga is gonna go hiatus this year.
In like 2 weeks. He's like, guys, I'm kind of getting.
Oh my! New Idolmaster came out. So I'm see you guys later. New Renki is new manga, and I feel like it's gonna go to hiatus soon.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, he isn't afraid of like disappearing.
This man's like he made one tweet, he made one comment about like how he's excited for Idolmaster.
And it was like, oh no, it's happening
Uh,
again.
yeah. Okay. Prediction. I had brought up. I had thought about Dungeon Meshi or Delicious Dungeon was going to get an anime, and I just found out it's getting an anime.
Oh
So
my
I will
goodness.
say this is going to be the sleeper hit when this year.
What is it about?
Okay, so basically, just uh, my sis, the main character's sister, they go in exploring in his labyrinth. His
Mm-hmm.
sister gets eaten by a dragon,
Okay.
and then they make an escape. And he's like, "Hey, I want to go back and save my sister." But they're like, "We don't have any supplies." He's like, "That's fine. We can eat the monsters in the dungeon." And they're like, "No." He's like, "But I think they'll taste good." And that's the thing. So he's like, he gets sidetracked eating monsters in the dungeon because he's like, that's why they're called. That's why it's called Delicious Dungeon. And by chapter 40, they say like I'm gonna spoil. Chapter 40, they save his sister, but she's already digested at that point.
What? What is
Yeah,
this? You think this is
but
gonna be
he's
the
like,
sleeper?
yeah, it's gonna be a sleeper because it's just comedy. It's like it's a
Oh,
comedic
okay.
manga.
I thought it was just like serious. I thought this
I,
was
I
somehow
mean,
gonna be
I mean,
serious.
I get serious for like 3 chapters, but then like, yeah, let's get back to the last. Like, there's like jewel crabs. Like, oh, they what they do is like you find jewels on a dead body, and like like most adventurers think they're like real gold and stuff, but they drain your life the longer you held with them, but you can cook them and they taste good. So yeah.
Okay.
Um. What else? I will say that okay. This is a random prediction. I think Bloodshot is gonna do really well at the box office because Vin Diesel's in it, but it's gonna review badly, and word of mouth is gonna be badly after like it makes all its money back, and starts a new universe. Like I want to say this right. I'm gonna say this movie is gonna be bad, right? But it's gonna do really well at the box office, and it's gonna make its money back,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna start a brand new superhero universe, like movie verse. But it's Bloodshot, so it's or
It's not the greatest thing
like
ever, but
it's not the
it's
great.
gonna try. Kind of like how like
It's
they
gonna
did with the Mummy.
yeah. It's like it's gonna try. It's not gonna be like what people want. It's not gonna be like Avengers, right? It's not gonna be that. It's gonna be an '80s action movie with a comic book character, and it's not what people want at this time period, in my opinion. It's not the actually. Well, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna say my prediction is Bloodshot is gonna set the tone for movies to come for the next decade.
You mean
Me
Trash
like
Fires?
if people really love mindless action movies, like what we just said, like the Valiant comics are is kind of mindless action for the most part, then if if people take to it, that means for the next 10 years, all the action movies are going to be less subtle, but more just like guy fighting video game enemies. So like basically, guy mowing down stormtroopers.
Okay. This sounds depressing.
Yeah, just like it's always like the first, like the big action movie of the year is always the thing that's gonna like of the new decade is always gonna be the thing that defines the decade. Like what's the trend is gonna be? Because like you think about like Iron Man was like that first thing of the decade, and how it just defined, it set the decade to Endgame. So
The Incredible
the big
Hulk was the first one,
yeah,
mind you.
okay, mind me, but it's like once again, it did set it to what superhero like
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
yeah. So like Bloodshot's like my dude mind like mowing down like stormtroopers. So if people want that, then every other movie in that decade is going to be mowing down stormtrooper.
This is a mess. What have we done?
Yeah.
What have we done? We can't.
So it's like no more subtlety, just like yo, Fast and Furious 32 coming out.
What have we done?
Anything else you want to like predict or no?
I don't really
Yeah.
got anything else.
Okay, well that's our prediction. So let's talk about our projects and upcoming fighting fiction works.
Oh man, here we go. This is the thing that's gonna we're writing our graves here. We're digging our
okay.
graves with this because we have a big plate on our hands. Okay, number one. I think either I personally or I don't know if you want to contribute at all. I'm gonna start. Me personally, I'm gonna start doing short reviews of things I've read and watched just throughout the year. Just it doesn't have to be something I've completed fully. I want to at least get a grasp on something and want to be able to just say, hey, check it out, read this. This is pretty cool right now. So like I want to read.
Figure 5-minute reviews.
Figure fumbles on his word and figures out if he's gonna show you this piece of fiction. How's that sound? We gotta alliteration.
Does Figure suggest or not?
Does figure out what's happening in this piece of work? And it's like, no, okay, I don't want y'all to read this. It's like if I understand, okay, y'all come on down.
Here we'll call it Do I Like, right? So baby, so much easier. So we'll just call it that.
No,
we'll call
that's stupid. That sounds so dumb.
Yeah, it's like you're suggesting it. You suggest what you like, right? So do I like blank, right? Do I like Darth Vader, Marvel's Darth Vader from what I've read?
Let's just do Super Eye Petrol. Let's just do how he does it. I can't.
Oh, should you
should you read? Like, should you
All
consume?
Right. Okay. Should I?
Should you?
Why, oh no, it's like why you should. Why you should watch.
Like, you should.
Why you should read. He's like, why you should read Gantz.
Goodness.
Okay. What's number 2 on our agenda?
Okay, number 2 is long reviews of things. Okay, me Mitch. Wait. Me mentioning long reviews is me reviewing work that is completely finished that I've had time to process, and I'll only do it like once a month at the least. I don't know. It's like I don't want to do a lot of these long reviews, but they are long form reviews. They're gonna eat up some time. Okay, I want to be able to create like a video that really breaks down a piece of work I really like, which requires me to go back and research it and et cetera, et cetera. That's why I won't do it for every single one. So the first one's gonna be Kasane.
Okay.
Yeah.
His long reviews will be like 4 hours.
They're gonna be 4 hours long. Like the review's gonna be 4 hours long. It's like I have to do 4 hours long, but it's not gonna come out this month. I want to plan for next month. But I have to do my research. And plus, I'll probably end up reviewing anime from long past too. Also, that's what I forgot to mention. These short reviews as well. I'll probably end up talking about older stuff I've seen, like back in the day, like Ergo Proxy or maybe Tokyo Ghoul.
It's gonna be slideshows of like just random like scenes. It's like they shot a video like this one right here.
No, I'm gonna have a fursona that's gonna be in the bottom left hand corner of the screen. That's gonna talk to you as I present what's going on. That's how it's gonna be.
Okay, we're making fun of Foxcade now and Super Eye Patch.
No,
okay, good.
I'm a furry now. I read Beastars. I'm a furry now. So.
It's not furry. It's art.
It's furry material, my dog. It's heat.
It's okay. Heat. What's number 3 on our docket then?
Okay, number 3. Do you want to talk about the project?
Oh, okay. Sure. We can talk about the project.
Okay. After long thought and hard labor and work, we've reconsidered our plans of creating comic-based material. So now, presenting to you live today at what time is it? At 10:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we would like to present to you what's the name of our upcoming project, Mr. E.
Endless Ocean, because our original name was stolen by somebody with like an actual career in comic books.
Yeah, I'm sad. I liked it too. Okay, what is our project Endless Ocean going to be about? Because you are the writer of this project, and I'm just the lowly artist in the cave.
Okay, so here's my pitch. Well, we got Space Pirate, the immortal space pirate Captain Tilo, is just surfing around the endless ocean of space, doing sci-fi stuff, or sci-fi space pirate stuff. Or we want to break down to the thematics of what I'm trying to say in the story.
What do you find to be the most powerful and interesting? What do you want to say with Endless Ocean?
what I want to say with Endless Ocean is the simple thing of like, security versus freedom, and this idea of it, where from what I've started writing is the character where I have set up that corporate like we're in an age like space colonization. So now not we have governments colonizing space or like the Earth government colonizing space plus, but we have corporations colonizing as well. So and now with their colonization, they have like they're free from government jurisdiction, but with the settlers, they're basically the government for it. So it's like this idea of like these people are born into, as corporate slaves, but they're like safe and like versus like where Captain Tilo is the freest man in the universe. Is he what is the difference between him is like he now has he has the pirate to eat versus people who had just work as slaves to eat for like a corporation. But I also want to throw in like an idea I've been playing around is this idea of maybe we're all just slaves to something, right? It's this idea of like Captain Tilo's entire thing. He's a slave to freedom, right? So his this basic need, this like urge, this is strong desire to be the freest man in the universe, is the thing that makes him a slave to it. Where he'll do about almost anything to be free from any responsibilities, meaning he's forced to continue that lifestyle of chasing after freedom. So he's a slave to it, right? Or like you're a slave toward money, so you'll do anything for that money. Like that's the idea. It's like that's not something else.
Okay. So currently on screen right now, viewers, this is Captain Tilo who I'm drawing. So this is your first sneak peek of this amazing product that's about to come out.
You know what? I'll take it. I guess.
Doesn't he look beautiful?
It's a really feminine. This was a JoJo character.
This is a JoJo version of Tila. Oh my god.
Where I'm going. Where we're going. Don't need guys.
There's no guys in space. There's only.
Why the last man apparently?
Oh my goodness. No.
What's next in our docket?
Okay. What's next? Ooh, we have. We would like to start introducing into the podcast elements of highlighting indie projects within our community and interviewing indie creators within our community.
That requires us to find a definition. What is indie creator or indie comics? Anybody
who can pick up a pencil and draw. That's it.
Okay, so nothing that is published by a corporation.
Most likely,
or large.
That's what's gonna have to be. It's like not DC or Marvel, not Marvel. It's probably just have to be some individuals or entities on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, or anywhere really. They don't have to be raising money. They could just be uploading to like Tapastic or Webtoons.
But we're not counting Image or Boom, like those guys. Are we?
Are we? I don't know.
It's we'll bring an indie creator and ask them what they think of it, like as they consider the indie, so we can have this long drawn conversation.
Are we an indie?
Yes.
But we work for Marvel, don't we?
Oh. Okay. I married a communist. I'm sorry.
My goodness.
Anything else we got?
We also plan to maybe start doing educational videos in terms of drawing comics or writing comics. Plan out plot, thesis, everything. You're gonna do it all, not me, but I'm gonna be doing the drawing part.
I basically teach basically for the writing would be run a script how to create panel flow, which is kind of easy and hard at the same time. Trying to explain to somebody, from trying to explain to people beforehand, prior, because apparently they can't understand without visual aid.
That's fine. That's up to you to do it, as you will be the teacher, and we'll call this segment the senseis. We will be the senseis to your comic creating journey, right?
Yeah.
No, we don't. We have never published a piece of work in our entire lives. It's like we're gonna start teaching you how to publish. No.
It seems very arrogant.
No,
You know what? Let's go.
No, this is here. Here is the main focus of educational. We are learning things constantly every day in terms of our journeys as artists. Me as a visual artist, you as a also a visual artist, but writing format. We just want to express what we have learned on our journeys and share it with everybody, because it is very hard to search for content or searching for the right information to learn how to do things correctly, because practice is important, but practicing the correct thing is even more important. So hopefully we can provide material necessary that you can practice and grow in your craft as well and become an amazing professional artist within this industry. That's kind of small and dying, but hopefully we together can revitalize it.
It's like learning comics online, or how to do it, is information is always like, it's either long format or like they tell you it's mostly like it's intermediate or advanced stuff when it comes to learning. It's like, oh, what you should have been, like just tips to know what you should be doing, rather than like what you should know, what you should be doing to beginning, right? So first thing would be like, how does a panel should flow from one another, instead of like, oh, this is what you should have in a panel, versus how one panel. So you like basically what panel should lead into another one, rather than like what's inside of it. That's more advanced stuff. That's what you'll find. That's what normally find.
Basically, the fundamentals will be taught.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll have a moment where we'll talk about the creative aspect of creation of storytelling, because I feel like a lot of reviews that we see in the YouTube ecosystem is very like how to draw hands, but it doesn't teach you why you draw hands. Because there is an important creative aspect to all this, because all of the work that we take in is, or we produce and we take in, it's there's vulnerability within creation, and pieces of yourself are put within work, and that's hard to express sometimes because you make yourself vulnerable to the paper and pen. And so hopefully in our upcoming educational videos, I know I will be talking about the creative aspect of drawing and expression of thoughts and emotions with the pen and paper. And then you make money off of it after you publish it and sell it off everybody. But for now, we'll teach you the creative aspects and the techniques required to do such. And hopefully you will do the same. I hope. And I oop. And I oop. Huh?
We just it's I have no other words.
Well, that was the last thing. I was just wanting to express it. But that's the last thing we have planned for this year as Fighting Fiction, the company, the entity, the legal entity that we are. Hopefully we don't get audited by the IRS this year, but we haven't made money, so they can't tax us.
Yeah. Can't tax. Can you give us money for making $0? We
Please?
actually we spent money making the $0 project.
But we spent lots of money, a whole $15 to get microphones that don't work.
Yeah. Plus we had to spend like $40 worth of like copy paper.
Yeah.
Just to sit on. Those are our chairs.
Oh yeah,
paper.
that's right. I forgot. That's like and the rent in the office is a lot.
Yep.
It's a whole lot.
It's a hot day today.
It's cold.
Georgia.
It's raining. It's raining.
Yeah, Georgia.
It's raining in Georgia.
Well, thanks for joining us today in our first live episode of Fighting Fiction. Hope to see you guys next time. Figure, where can we find you?
You can find me at Twitter School, right? Whoa, did you see that? We're having a stroke. Okay, you can find me at Twitter at figure_010. Only on Twitter.
And you can find me at Eric Mogel at Twitter. Thanks for watching, listening, or watching.
Thank you for listening to the live event.
Hope to see you guys next time.
And hopefully we do this again next time.
Peace.
Skiddy.